This is a Mack Granite material handler. It's made by First Gear and is in 1/34 scale. Now this truck was done for Lafarge Gypsum. It's a drywall truck. It's kind of interesting though that it's all green. Most Lafarge trucks are usually white with a little bit of green, so this is kind of the opposite, which is interesting. It's your typical First Gear truck. It's got a lot of really good detail to it. It's really good quality. It's a nice heavy truck. I like the bigger models. I think they just look better. Now this truck has a lot of, like I said, it's got a lot of good details. It's got enough that you don't necessarily see everything the first time. So as it's sitting on the shelf, something different will catch your eye over time, and then it's just kind of interesting to keep noticing these little things more and more. One of the things that's interesting about this truck is that it's got the polished aluminum wheels. Most material handler trucks, delivery trucks, most companies don't usually spend a whole lot of money on them as far as like options. So it's kind of interesting to see the aluminum wheels. It looks fantastic. It really does. And First Gear always does a good job on the wheels. So that's, it's kind of nice. Now the drop axle back here, it's fixed in the race position, which is okay. I mean, it's kind of weird to see a loaded truck with a with the drop axle raised, but I think if it was lowered, it wouldn't look as good. It'd be nice if it was functional too, but I think that if it was functional, it would probably always be in the lower position, which at that point, why make it functional, Anyway, moving on. The inside of the truck detail is very good. It's, typical First Gear. It's very well done. And if you look carefully, you can see the windows are open and they're down all the way, and you can see the window glass right there. And that's really neat to just have the windows in and down. The motor detail is excellent. It just looks fantastic. No steering, which is normal on the First Gear trucks, but you don't really need steering anyway. Now, as far as the material handler body itself, it's very well done. It's got a lot of good little details to it. The mesh walkway up here looks really good. The little stabilizer arms come out, the outriggers, they telescope down too. These things are fairly fragile, so you don't really want to manhandle them too much because you don't want to break them. But they do work. It's kind of interesting that they're only in the front. There's nothing in the rear. I'm not sure if most material handlers have outriggers in the rear or not. I just never really thought about it before. Like I said, the arm itself is pretty well done. It looks good. What's interesting, I didn't really notice the first time, is if you look right here, it's got like a cylinder saver on this cylinder right here, which is really interesting. It looks fantastic. Now, everything that should move and work on this arm does, which is nice. The forks are adjustable, and they work just like they should. Now, the only thing that's a little disappointing is on this particular truck, and it's kind of hard to see it, the cylinder is actually cracked right there. So unfortunately, what that means is that the truck is not going to be able to hold the load. It just it doesn't have enough strength to hold up the drywall. Now the drywall itself, just for being the load on the truck, looks pretty darn good. They're stuck together in stacks of threes. You can't, I guess you probably could separate them if you had to, but I don't really want to. I don't think that's going to go very well, and they may not separate well either. But anyway, that's about it for the truck. Overall, it's a fantastic model. It looks great sitting on the shelf, and like I said, there's a lot of Lafarge trucks out there, so it's real easy to build yourself a nice collection of Lafarge trucks, and this would certainly fit right in with all the rest of them. Anyway, that's about it. If you have any questions, feel free to ask, and as always, thanks for watching.